What's up, y'all? It's your girl QueensteezTV, and I'm back with another video. And this time I'm going to be telling the story about my birthday trip from hell. And I just want to know one thing: why do everything keep happening to me?
I'm a young baller. Every day we stay shining. Bling, Rolly presidential, perfect timing. Every nigga that's around me.
It's your girl QueensteezTV, and you're watching QueensteezTV. Alright, so I'm just going to get straight into what happened. So a couple years ago, I wanted to go on a trip for my birthday. So I invited like a couple girls on the trip, and only 2 ended up being able to go, right? So where else do you go to go do hood rat stuff with your friends? Miami, exactly. So we were headed to Miami. Now the 2 people that was going, they both my good friends. One, BK, that's my girl. Y'all know her from the story when we was getting ready to had to bust Karen up in Publix. And my other friend, Fu. So Fu was already on the trip, and she was going to meet us in Miami. And me and BK was traveling together, right? Which was cool with me. So, you know, leading up to the trip, I wasn't mad that only 2 people was able to come, because, you know, the less people, the better. You know how people go when there be a big group of people. I definitely wasn't mad at that, right? So, probably like 2 days or so leading up to the trip, Fu called me and she was like, "Hey, Asia, don't be mad at me." She was like, "But my boyfriend wanted to stay during the trip." And I was like, "Girl, this is supposed to be a girl's trip, you know?" So she was like, I know. She was like, "But me and him share a birthday." So she was like, "It's his birthday too. He wanted to stay." So I was like, all right. I'm like, whatever. Cool. It don't matter, right? So me and BK were still going. Alright, so we go, the day the trip arrives or whatever. We get on the plane. Now the plane ride was cool. This was the good part. Plane ride was fine. But while we was on the plane, it was this drunk guy on the plane. So but the flight, it wasn't full or whatever. So it was like empty seat. The flight was like actually like pretty empty, because you know it's 3 seats in the aisle, and I was on 1 seat and it was 2 empty, and then BK, she had her own seat, so the flight was pretty empty. However, it was this drunk ass man on the flight. When I say drunk, he was like drunk as a skunk, and he kept getting drinks, and why the flight attendants kept bringing him drinks, I don't know. But I honestly think he was afraid of flying, so I guess he figured like, oh, let me get tore up and then the flight would be fine. I don't know. But anyway, he was doing too much on the plane. He was getting up. He was drunk. And he was sitting in empty seats, and people would put his arm around people and being like, "Hey, what's up?" And, you know, just doing all that. So I was just in my seat, because I was laughing at him, because I was just like, I like literally cannot even believe this. And I don't like flying anyway. So I was just like, okay, this was one thing to take my mind off of the flight. So then he looked at me and he was like, "Oh, I'm coming to you." And I was like, "Don't come over here, sir." I was like, "Stay where you at." And he was like, "Oh no, I'm coming over to you." And I was like, all right. So after that, we finally made it to Miami. So I went and I ordered our Uber. So it was at nighttime, y'all. I don't know why, but like whenever I fly to Florida, I like flying at night. Like I like taking the last flight from Baltimore to Florida, because it's only like 2 hours. So you leave at what, 9, you get there around 11, and then you go to your hotel and, you know, go out, because it's Miami, you know. So it was nighttime, and I was actually kind of exhausted from the flight, because that guy, he was like, he wore me out a little bit. So when I went to go order the Uber pulls up. Me and BK load our stuff in there. And then this other man come hop in the Uber. So we was like, "Sir, what you doing?" And he was like, "This is my Uber." And we was like, "No, this is our Uber." So then he was like, ain't this Uber pool? So I'm like, what is Uber pool? So I had made a mistake and ordered a Uber pool, which I didn't know that Uber did carpooling. I don't think Uber does carpooling in Baltimore because I ain't never seen no Uber pool, but whatever. So I'm like, oh Lord, now we gotta go here. So then I didn't even know with Uber pool that they don't drop you off at your destination. Like, they drop you off at the corner and then you gotta walk. Ghetto, very ghetto, 1 star, would not recommend. So the guy that was driving the Uber, he was like, all right, well, his hotel is closer. So we was like, yeah, drop him off first. So then he was like, well, I'll just drive y'all to your hotel. So he dropped this poor little man off on the corner. And this man walking late at night. It's around like 11:30, maybe. Could have even been midnight. He just walking with his little suitcase. I don't know. I'm from Baltimore. I'm thinking like somebody gonna bust him in his head and take a suitcase. You know what I'm saying? That's what's just going through my mental. Cause yeah, if you've been to Baltimore, you know what's up. So he was like, well, I'll just take y'all to your hotel. So I was just really tired that day. So I get my suitcase and I go into the hotel. So this hotel, I never heard of it, never stayed there before, but my friend Fu recommended this hotel because she said her co-workers stayed here and they said that it was so nice. Keep that in mind, right? So we go to the hotel to go check in. So they like, all right, y'all room ready. So I'm like, where the elevator? They was like, oh, it ain't no elevator in here. So I'm an overpacker, okay? So if I'm going somewhere for 4 or 5 days, I have about probably 20 days worth of clothes and shoes and stuff with me. I'm gonna just be honest, okay? I bring whatever I may need for about 4 or 5 outfit changes because you never know what it's giving when you go out of town. And that's just how I roll, okay? I have everything. First aid kit, flat-ons, makeup kit. I got it all with me. So I have a big heavy suitcase. So I'm like, what do y'all mean it's no elevator in this hotel? I'm like, how many floors is this? So they was like, well, we got a service elevator. So I'm like, all right, whatever. I'll get on the service elevator. It was like a broom closet. And you know the little pulley door. I said, I ain't want to get in the elevator, but then I also did not want to carry the damn bag up the steps. So I was like, oh, this is ghetto. I was like, when I see Fu, I'm going to bust her up when I see her. So we get on the janky little service elevator and this is going up and it's like, I'm like, girl, we finna get stuck on this elevator. So BK was like, she was like, yo, don't say that. I was like, no. I was like, this elevator is giving Jeepers Creepers. Then we get out and I looked at the carpet. The carpet was, it was very nasty, like in the hallways, and like it smelled like mildew in there. I was like, what type of shit is this? So I went in the room and I was like, yo, I could stretch both of my hands out and touch the walls. And they squaz. Squaz. Is it squaz or squeezed? They had put 2 beds in this little ass room. That's what happened, right? So I was like, I'm on the phone. I'm like, Fu, where you at? She like, oh, I'm getting ready to come to your room. I'm like, yeah, get on the double. Come on, hurry up. So she gets to the room. I'm like, girl, what is this? What is this? So she was like, I know. I was like, where y'all room at? I said, do y'all room look like this? She was like, well, we upgraded our rooms. I said, why you ain't upgrade my room? Why you ain't upgrade the birthday girl room? Girl. So she was like, my bad, I ain't know. She was like, oh, and one more thing. She was like, 2 other people came on this trip. So I was like, girl. I said, you know I'm getting ready to get you. I was like, it's not giving invite people on my birthday trip. I'm like, girl, I'm like, then it's, you know, it's guys. I'm like, if that was the case, I could have invited my boyfriend and BK could have invited her boyfriend and the guys could have went to go do their thing and we could have, you know, went to do our thing and, you know, met up for dinner or, you know, whatever. I was like, girl, I'm a half a second off of you. I was like, and this hotel is not making it no better for you. But I was like, whatever, right? So she was like, all right, well, shut up. She was like, just get dressed and we just about to go around the corner. I think, hold up. Was it on Ocean? I be get confused. Ocean Drive. Okay, no. Okay, the hotel was on Collins. So Collins is on this side with like all the hotels and then what's hotels on Ocean Drive too? But like Ocean Drive, that's the strip where, you know, everybody go to stunt at. So we stay on Collins, but the good thing I will say about this hotel, the good thing was it was right around the corner from everything. So literally we ain't had to get a car. We could just walk around the corner and you was literally in the center of everything. So the only good thing about the hotel was location. Okay? So back to the story. So she's like, get dressed and meet us. I think at the Pelican. I think it was at the Pelican. So she's like, get dressed and meet us over at the Pelican. So I was like, okay, cool. Right? So I'm like, go to get my bag. I'm like, where's my book bag? Every time I travel with a book bag. And usually my purse is in my book bag. Which my purse was in my book bag. But luckily this time I had my wallet in my pocket. So usually if I travel, I got a book bag with me. And I always put an outfit in there. Because, I mean, you know, you never know, they might lose your luggage. So I just always carry an outfit in my book bag that I can wear with whatever shoes I have on that I'm traveling in. And I usually put my purse inside my book bag. But 9 times out of 10, I take my wallet out just in case I leave my bag, which I did this damn time. So I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, this man got my purse. So at the time, I'm thinking that I left my wallet in my purse, in my bag, which is in the Uber. And the Uber is gone. It's like after midnight. So I'm like panicking at this point. I'm like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. What am I going to do? How am I going to get my bag back? So my friend was like, call a little like Uber hotline and they'll connect you to the driver. So I called a little Uber hotline, right? And I'm like, you know, I lost my belongings. It connect me to the driver. So I call him and I'm like, hey, how you doing? You just dropped me and my friend off at this hotel in Miami Beach. I was like, I left my bag in the back of your car. Is there any way that you could come back and bring me my bag back? I was like, I'll pay you, right? So he was like, oh no. He was like, I live in Fort Lauderdale and my daughter on her senior trip and I'm not coming back. So I was like, okay. I'm like, wait, like I need my bag tonight. I was like, sorry, like you got my purse with you. Like I need my bag. So he was like, all right, well, after I go get my daughter, I'll drive back down there and bring it to you. So I'm like, okay, cool. So my friend, she was like, all right, she like, well, why you waiting for him? Go ahead and get in the shower. Yo, I go to get in the shower. Why this damn hotel ain't had no hot water? Cold shower. Now, when it's hot outside, I don't mind a cold, you know, lukewarm, like, refreshing shower. But let me make it lukewarm. Why don't this hotel that I just pay all this money for have hot water? I was livid. So I called food back. I'm like, yo, you know my room don't got no damn hot water in it. She like, what? Oh my gosh. She like, you want to come down and use our room? I'm like, no, I'm out of this hotel. I know. I want to be gone. So then BK, she was like, look, she was like, calm down, calm down, calm down. She was like, look, she was like, it's going to be all right. She was like, just find something to put on, do your makeup. All right, it's going to be okay. So by the hour pass, the Uber driver ain't never come. So I called the hotline back. It connected me to him. I'm like, hey, sir, you know, you said you was bringing my bag back. Like, what's the ETA? Like, where are you? So he was like, yeah, I'm not coming back down there tonight. I was like, okay, so how do you expect me to get my bag? He was like, well, I don't know. Like, maybe I could bring it to you tomorrow. I was like, look, I said, give me your real number. I said, because I'm not about to keep calling this Uber hotline. I was like, and we can figure something out tomorrow. Like, I need my bag. You have my purse. It's like no question about it. Like, you need to give me my stuff. That's it. Like, period. Yeah, it was my fault. I left the bag, but like, where's your customer service? So we get dressed and we walk around the corner to the little restaurant. So I'm really like not in the mood for birthday festivities. But you know, fool with her boyfriend, they like, come on. He like, you know, he like, it's our birthday. He like, you know, take drinks. And you know, down in Miami, they give you the big drinks be like this size. And they be like, buy one, get one free. So it's giving, get tore up. So I go here, you know, I'm getting me a drink. And they like, oh, birthday shots, birthday shots. They like giving us free birthday shots and all this stuff. So I was like, okay, let me like, you know, be a good sport. Let me pull it up. So I had on something like similar to this. That's why I put this back on, giving an ode to Miami Beach. Me doing what I always do, looking good. So remember I said it was another group on this trip. So we were sitting at a table. How was the table? Cause, okay, we was at different tables. So maybe it was like a table of 4, like 2, 2, 2, 2. And we was like next to each other. Cause I think I was at my own table. You know, like the single tables where like one person on each side. I think I was sitting at my own table because I was like annoyed. And I really was not like, I was like, you know, trying to take shots or whatever. But I was like, I was mad. I was mad. Big mad. So I'm sitting at the table and you know how you can feel like somebody's eyes piercing at you, like someone is just like staring at you, and I'm like, look over and I'm like, hello, hi. So the young man that was on the trip, he was just like staring at me. And I'm like, stop fucking looking at me. It was like weird. So then I was just like, okay. You know how somebody's standing, so I'm like, okay, let me turn this way because you're doing too much. So he was just like staring. It was like very uncomfortable. So I was like, all right, at this point I was like, okay, whatever, bye. Like, I'm trying to go back to my room. So we get back in the room. And literally, soon as me and BK get in the room, she was like, yo, was dude being creepy, yo? But she like, he was just staring at me. I said, yo, I swear, I was getting ready to say the same thing to you. Like, what was up with that? Like, it was just like, ew. And then don't do that in front of your mate. Like, you stare at other women like they're in front of your girlfriend. It's never giving that. Like, boy, no. So we sitting there, we talking, we laughing, getting us a kiki out of it. Cause I'm like, you're a clown. Like, ugh. Why the damn light started flickering? I mean, like, power surge. Yo, I jumped up, ran down the steps, cause you know, it wasn't no elevator. I had to run down the steps. I'm at the front desk. I'm like, what was that? I'm like, I know I did not pay all this money. I said, y'all got us in this little ass room. Somebody need to fix this. I said, y'all need to get me up out of this room. Like, what's going on? I said, y'all upgraded my friend room. I don't know why, you know, y'all didn't offer me the damn upgrade. I said, but I'm not staying over here. So it was already probably like around 3 in the morning. So the guy at the front desk, he said, no, miss, no, mommy. He was like, no, mommy. I was like, look, mommy, nothing. I was like, I want a new room. I said, y'all got power surges and all this stuff. So he was like, no, it's Miami. He was like, it's a lot of lights. Oh, it's always power surging down here. So I was like, all right, I really don't care. I was like, I need a new room. So he was like, I can't give you a new room. I can't give you a new room. You have to wait until Juan come in the morning. So I'm like, what time do Juan get here? Because whenever Juan get here, I'm going to be down at the desk. So I think he said Juan came in at 8 o'clock. Okay. At 7:50, I was at the desk. Okay. So I was sitting in the lobby and I heard somebody call Juan. I jumped up. I said, how you doing, Juan? I need another room. I said, okay, yesterday, you know, you upgraded my friend's room. I need another room. I said, you know, it's no hot water in my room. I said, the lights is flickering in my room. I said, and the room is too small for 2 people to occupy. So he was like, mommy. He was like, hold on. He said, I'm going to upgrade your room for you. I said, look, it's my birthday. I said, I came down here to have a good time, not to be down here dealing with this. I said, it's ghetto. This is ghetto. So he was like, look, he said, I'm going to upgrade your room. He said, look, give me a minute. He said, go get your stuff. He said, and meet me right back down here at 8:30. So I went up, I got BK. I said, get your stuff, girl. I said, we moving up out of here. So we get our stuff. We get back on the janky service elevator and we take it down. We bring it back down to the lobby. So we wait for him. So he like, come follow me. So we walk out on the street. And then we're walking down the street. So I'm like, wait. Where are we going? I said, because I'm walking with a whole suitcase down the block. So he like, well, no. He like, our suites is over here in the gate. I was like, what type of ghetto mess is this? So he showed us one room and then, you know, he opened the door. I said, well, these rooms is nice over here. I said, yeah, I need a room over here. I said, why y'all ain't show these rooms on the website? Because I would have booked this room and not the other room I had. I said, that's false advertisement. So he was like, no. He said, it's your birthday. He said, wait. He said, I'm going to show you all the rooms we got open. He said, and you choose the one that you want. I was like, look. I said, I feel like you trying to be smart right now. I said, and it's really not what you want. I said, I'm having a hard time as it is, and this is really not what you want, Juan. So just put me in a room. So we got a room that was on the like first level. It was very big, very spacious. It was a nice room. So come to find out, I texted Fool and I was like, hey, they upgraded our room. We over here. She was like, oh, y'all right below us. So I was like, oh, heifer, you been up in the Beverly Hills and you was coming over here to see me in the ghetto and over in the projects. You know what I'm saying? Because over where the suites was, it was gated. You needed a code to get in the gate. So I was like, oh, you left me over here and it's my birthday? But I was like, all right, cool. So she came downstairs, you know. We went to go, you know, have fun, explore the town. You know, typical South Beach stuff. Like, I mean, you know what I mean? You go to Wet Willie's, you go to the beach, you walk up and down the strip in your best outfits, you know, like, you drink. Alright, so, I get the room stuff situated. We in a nice room. It's cool. So, guess what? I still don't have my bag. So, I'm texting the Uber driver. I'm like, hey, it's me. I want my bag. And he was like, oh, I'm at work. I was like, sir. I was like, you have my purse, which has my wallet. I need my bag. So he was just like, that's not my fault. So I was like, okay. I said, look, I said, we need to work something. I said, where are you at? So he was like, I'm in Broward County. So I was like, okay, you in Fort Lauderdale. So I was like, okay, cool. I said, well, can I meet you somewhere? I was like, look, so I said, I ain't trying to be going back and forth with you. I was like, I need my bag. I really don't care if you at work. I need my bag. So he was like, yeah, well, you could just meet me at my job. So I'm like, all right, like, text me the address for your job and then I'll come there. So the driver finally texted me where he was, where he worked at, right? So our day had already started. So this is the next day. So I was like, I told my homegirls, I was like, look, I was like, I'm about to go and meet the Uber driver so that I can get my stuff. So they was like, well, we'll come with you. They like, you don't gotta go by yourself. So I was like, all right. I was like, I would just pay for the Ubers to and from. I was like, cause I mean, I want extra to split no Uber. It's my fault. I lost my bag. You know what I mean? So I was like, that's cool. So keep in mind, we is dressed for Miami, going to Fort Lauderdale. So he texts me the address. So we get another Uber. The Uber guy come. He drive us to the guy job. So I call the guy. I'm like, hey, I'm almost at your job. He was like, wait outside. Don't go inside my job. I was like, okay, like, how far are you? Because I'm outside. Like, I told you we was gonna be here at a specific time. So, like, where you at? He was like, I ain't there, but I'll be on my way. So I'm like, okay. We pull up. He worked at a whole funeral home. So it was like the funeral home, a Dollar Tree. No, I'm lying. It was Dollar Tree, the funeral home, a gas station. Me, BK, and Fool is looking like Miami Beach in the hood in Fort Lauderdale. So people was walking past looking at us like, is these bitches lost? Because we look very much out of place. So you got the people at the gas station, they like, hey baby, hey mama, you know, all that stuff. I'm like, okay, because y'all know Florida people, no offense, but Florida people are a little different. And Florida guys is a little different. They like, hey, what's up, Jit, all that. I'm like, look, don't play with me. Don't play with me. So, all this time, and it's hot outside. So, we're standing outside looking like Manny, Mo, and Jack, Dumb, Dumb, and Dumber, waiting for him to pull up. So, it's hot. I'm like, you know, I got my little makeup on, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm like dressed to be, you know, up and down Ocean Drive. You know what I'm saying? I can't do the heat. I was like, I'm finna go on Dollar Tree and wait for him. So they was like, yeah, since we going to Dollar Tree, it's hot outside, right? So we going to Dollar Tree. I text him back. I'm like, sir, where you at? I'm in Dollar Tree. I'm like, you know, I'm waiting for you. But then I'm like, I don't want these people in Dollar Tree to think we're in here like stealing or like scoping out the place. Because we literally was just kind of like just walking around. And it's like, it's not a mall. It's Dollar Tree. It's like only so much stuff you can get. So I'm like buying dumb shit like Q-tips, Band-Aids, Just something so they could be like, so they don't think we stealing or nothing. So I'm like, okay, let me get a bag of chips. I'm like, because who knows how long this man is going to have me stand out here waiting, right? So finally, when I'm like ringing my stuff up, he called me. He like, yeah, where you at? So I'm like, I'm in Dollar Tree. I was like, and I hope you don't have no attitude because I'm standing out here waiting for you for over 30 minutes. So this man, y'all, walks in the Dollar Tree while I'm paying for my stuff. And this, all I got is this one thing. So let's just say this is my book bag. And he's like, here, and check your stuff. He was like, because ain't nobody take nothing out your little bag. I was like, first of all, you need to calm down. I was like, second of all, nobody never said you took nothing out the bag. I said, I just needed my bag because my purse was in it. I was like, but matter of fact, stand right where you are while I look through my bag to make sure all of my belongings are in my bag since you even brought it up. So I stand there. I looked through the bag or whatever, and he like he had an attitude and he left out. So I was like, okay, I'm like, whatever. So I called another Uber to take us back to the beach. Well, we get in this Uber. We go back to the beach. Where do we go? I think we went to Wet Willie's, right? So we go to Wet Willie's. And you know it's hot outside. Now mind you, me being simple, forgot to eat. Because I'm standing outside. I'm so worried about my bag, right? I'm drinking and I'm pina colada and a sunset and sex on the beach and Miami flavor and the bamba, the ramba. Wet Willie said something for me, baby. Let me tell you something. I had a rumbly in my tumbly. Chill. My stomach was tore up. I went to go tear the place down. Burnt it down. You hear me? So after this, I'm exhausted. I said, yo, I need a day of rest. I said, I'm not doing nothing else today. I was like, don't ask me to come out. I ain't coming out. I ain't going. They was like, oh, come on. They like, oh, you know, whatever. We going here tonight. I was like, yo, I'm literally not going. I go, get in the shower. And I was like, all right, I'm going out, right? I got in that bed and I was knocked out. So I think while I was asleep, BK and them went out. I didn't even know. I was, well, number one, I was drunk. Number two, my stomach, my intestines was on fire. Okay? So I was dead sleep to the world. So I guess by then, BK came in. This was the next morning. I wake up, and what do I see on the floor? A roach. Yes, a roach, a big roach, about this big. I called that front desk. I said, it is a roach in this room. Like, what do y'all have going on in this hotel? I was like, you know, I said, I'm sick of it. I said, I cannot deal with this. I need to talk to the manager. I can't deal with this. I ain't got roaches at home, and I don't pay all this money to be at a hotel out of town and they have roaches. Okay? That's not what we're doing. So they like, oh no, it's just a water bug that crawled in from off of the street, cause y'all down on the first floor and the door don't close all the way. So they was like, well, just roll a towel up and put a towel at the door. It's not giving put a towel at the door. Why y'all door don't close? I was like, you know what? I said, I literally can't even take no more. At that point, I could not take no more. Then we go and do, you know, trying to do little activities, and then I already, you know, was lenient about other people, like, being on my birthday trip. That, like, they didn't want to participate in anything. So I was just kind of like, you know, like, I already let you slide. So, like, you need to be in compliance. Whatever I say goes. It's like, it's not an option for participation. But I was like, whatever. I said, you know, I was like, people could do what they want. I was like, I need to still try to have a good time. Even though I was having a hard time having a good time. And to top it off, this would really had me mad. I had bought some, it was supposed to be Indian hair for this trip. And it was given muskrat. The hair was given muskrat. So like from like the outside, the hair, it had it going on, but like I couldn't run my fingers through it. So that was pissing me off too. So then later that night, we had went to the Clevelander. Yeah, that's what's called, the Clevelander. And, cause you know, the Cleveland, they got the little dance floor over the pool, you know, and there was this Spanish poppy, and he was rolling there. I mean, I was, you know, I was having me a good time, you know what I'm saying? He was just dancing in circles all around me, right? So this drunk Becky comes over, and she's like, hey girl, what? Don't do that. Don't do that. And that was the last and final straw for me. I was like, I'm done with Miami. I don't want to be here anymore. I'm sick of this. It was a mess. It was a disaster. Like, it was whew. That probably was one of like the worst birthday trips that I've been on. And like, it was just because stupid stuff just kept happening. But overall, my friends tried to make it a good time for me. You know, they tried to make sure I had a good time, even though it just was stuff that was just like out control. But it was a mess. Like, three things I learned from this trip. 1, don't stay in South Beach. Oh yeah, and another thing, like, you could never even sleep on South Beach because every people, like, all hours of the night, like, people be fussing and fighting in the street, and like, you cannot go to sleep. So one thing I learned is to stay in North Beach and come down to South Beach to party. You know, stay with the rich peoples. Biscayne, stay all up that way by Live. Stay up in them hotels and just commute down. Number 2, keep your belongings with you, girl. Even though it was my fault or whatever, it was just a big inconvenience. So now when I go, all my belongings is stuck to me like glue. And the third thing that I learned or would use as a takeaway is I don't know. This is just a piece of advice. Don't invite nobody on my trips. And that's it. Period. Make sure that you go like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And hit the notification bell while you're at it, because I'm going to be dropping new content all the time. Thanks.